Question. Do your no spend days really work? I mean, really work? Let's talk about it. Back in a few. Hi, this is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. Today we're going to be item specific. We're going to talk specifically about no spend days. Now, what I like to do, I like to utilize my planner, okay? This is kind of like my personal daily planner, but I also have so much room in it that I work with financials as well. So I like to sprinkle designated days like Parmesan cheese, as I've said in the past, for no spend days. Now, that strategy does work for me. But let's talk a minute about no spend days. How many of you out there have actually ever done no spend days? Some people do no spend weeks, some people do no spend months, some people even do it down to the year. Okay. Now, let's start off by saying that every family is different, every family's needs are different, every family's goals are different. But I could tell you this, there is a tip that I strongly recommend because I have actually started to utilize this myself like a couple of months back. So therefore, I really want to pass this along to you. It has worked for me. Now, as we know, no spend can be tailored down to your family situation of wants and needs, and everyone's life is different. Absolutely. Is the money saved going for a goal? That's a good question. Are you saving towards a goal? You really need to name it and claim it. By naming the goal and claiming the goal, you are making it real. You are making it that much more actualized for it to happen. That's really, really important. So name it and claim the goal of the reason why you're doing the no spend. Maybe you're doing the no spend because you want to meet an important bill. Maybe you're doing the no spend because you want to pay down a debt. Or maybe you're doing the no spend because you want to increase payments to pay down your house that much faster. There are many, many reasons. Everyone's life is different and everyone's family situation is different. And when I say family, I also mean even a family of one, for example. Just saying, okay? Now, like you know, I always say sprinkle a few no spend days throughout your calendar month like Parmesan cheese. But here's the real trick. But before you do that, you know what's really important? Go back and backtrack to your last couple of months of savings, assumingly that you track your spending. You do track your spending, right? If you don't, then get started to do that. That's really important. That way you can analyze your spending habits, not judge it, analyze it just to see where the area of concern is. For example, in the last few months, have you been ordering way more takeout than you really need to? Have you done that? Only you can answer that. Whatever it is, that area of weakness of overspending, look at your history, write it down, write down the areas of improvement that can be tweaked down and narrowed down. And that's what I want to get to right now about the narrowing it down. See, the real trick to sticking to a no spend, I have found that if I write down, for example, in my calendar, no spend Friday, well, no spend, okay, that's kind of random. I think it's more important, for example, to let's say, even if I narrowed it down to no spending on takeout this Friday, because that was an old habit that I had developed years ago. Okay. It was just like a thing. Oh, it's Friday. Let's call in a pizza. Or let's pick up Chinese food or whatever it is, whatever that thing is. And it was always on a Friday. So that was my area of weakness that can be tweaked down. What is your area of weakness? It's not, it was just really a want. It is not a need. I could certainly either make my own pizza or use the one in the freezer and just pop it in the oven and save on the tips. This is just an example, okay? Narrowing it down and be item specific is a lot easier, okay? It's a lot easier than just having random no spend days, okay? For example, narrowing it down, being item specific, instead of randomizing, be item specific. Example, have you been ordering takeout 8 times last month? Again, when you go back to your previous month, analyze your spending habit. Oh, wait a minute. Wow. So that means that on average of about twice a week for a month, that's 8 times a month, you were spending on takeout. That certainly adds up. You understand? So therefore, instead of saying no spend day, blank, with no name to it, say this month I will not buy takeout 8 times. Okay? So you're kind of getting your no spend day, but niching it down to an item specific area of weakness because you took the time to check your previous month's habit, spending habit that wasn't in your favor. Okay. Do you spend a ton of cash on manicures and pedicures, for example? Is there any way that you could do your own nails? Is there any way that, all right, or maybe just narrow it down to one of out of the two? So by cutting down, say this month, I am going to figure out how to do my own pedis and manis, just 1 month. You're not saying lifetime commitment, 1 month. Challenge yourself. So that will be like your no spend for the month. You will not spend item specific on manicures or pedicures. Okay, find that area of weakness that you tend to overspend and see if you could try it out for 1 month to live without and swap it out and either learn how to do it or totally and completely forego that item and see if the sun still rises in the morning and the moon still sets at night. Think about that for a second. Okay. You could also consider a 6 month strategy. What? You're probably thinking, not spend a dime for 6 months? I didn't say that. You might consider a 6 month strategy of no spending on clothing, for example. If you have more than enough clothes that you hardly even know what to do with, why on planet Earth are you buying more? Just to keep up with the fad or keep up with the Joneses, so to speak? That is, in my opinion, not a necessary expense. That money could be going towards financial goals, could be going to paying down your debt, could be going to paying off your mortgage that much faster. So you may consider, oh, you know what? For the next 6 months, I refuse to buy new clothing. And look around and take inventory of what you have. You may be totally shocked to see what you do have and you're underutilizing. As for myself, what I'm going to do, I will not be making duplicate purchases, okay? I don't like duplicate purchases. Go around your home or apartment. Look around. You may be buying things you already own that exist in your home, okay? So I will not spend a dime on a duplicate purchase. If I find it, I'm going to utilize that thing to the last drop. So instead of having random, no spend, no driven specific item days, do this. Find a specific item and commit to, let's say, a period of time. I just happen to use the term 1 month. In your case, you maybe want to try it for 1 week to see if you'll survive, okay? And then maybe you could graduate it to 2 weeks, for example. Just saying. But it's all good. It's all good because it's all going to go to your name it and claim it savings goals. How's that? There you go. In the meantime, this has been Jan from New York City. Thank you so much for viewing. Why? Because I really do appreciate you. Don't forget to come back in the future for another saving tip. Have a wonderful, amazing, fantastic day. Have a great day.